Hi, this is Jim Cranston from 7 Every Minute and 7everyminute.com, the podcast and website about reimagining your life. Thanks for joining me today to talk about living our lives to our own fullest potential. So let's get started. If you like what you hear today, please leave a like and tell your friends and send me a message. Thanks for joining me tonight for it's going to be kind of a quick revisit on priorities and living to your own vision. It'll be a little bit short because frankly the topic is pretty straightforward. We talked about it before, but I bring it up again because a lot of people will claim that people don't really live their lives the way we discussed. They don't really live their vision. I mean, life gets in the way and they talk about it, but and I just wanted to very quickly mention a friend of mine who certainly does. And he's a bit older than me. He's really one of my brother's friends. My brothers are all older than me. And but I've met him a number of times. I've known him for a number of years, and he's always been kind of an eclectic sort of guy. He's always involved in some new project. He always has stuff going on. He's always learning about life and more things. And he's just a really fun guy to be around. And of course, he has an extremely patient wife to put up with that sort of stuff. But my brother mentioned to me a couple of days ago that he hadn't heard from him in a while, not since the town he was in got bombed. I said, where is it that he got bombed? Turns out, although he's in his 70s, maybe probably almost 80, he left to go to Ukraine, where he was working at a food kitchen to help others who had lost their homes in Russia's terrorist attacks and their invasion against Ukraine. He could have just stayed home and complained, or like even more people do, just kind of sort of ignore it and change the channel. But that wasn't the way he was put together, right? He was always ready to help out when somebody needed some help, and he was there to help them. And he paid his own way over, affiliated with an aid organization there to help others who were suffering. My brother's going to look into his well-being, see what's up with him. Hopefully all is fine. But the one thing I'm absolutely positive about is, although the circumstances may be unpleasant, I'm sure he doesn't or did regret his decision because it was 100% consistent with his vision for the world and how he lived his life. What a fantastic way to live. I mean, and we're all capable of doing it once we make it our priority. And we often talk about live your life to your own definition of success. And I'm sure many of his acquaintances and friends thought he was foolish or, there he goes again. But I'm sure his real friends weren't surprised in the least. Because remember, if it brings you closer to your own vision, it really doesn't matter what they think, nor what the world thinks about you. It's what you think of yourself. And what matters is that you're living your life to your own fullest potential. So that's kind of it for that side. It's just you hear about these people and you read about them in the paper and stuff, and they're actually around you and they're doing things. In his case, it's pretty dramatic. A lot of people, though, are doing things that you look behind the surface, kind of like, wow, I had no idea they were doing. What they're doing is just amazing, whether they're volunteering somewhere, helping people. I just met somebody who actually is taking unwed mothers into her home. And that's it. She has like 3 or 4 women living with her right now. And had no idea, but just it came up in conversation that that's one of the things that she does. And there are many amazing people around us. So if it's your vision and you're living towards it, you will find incredible power to give you the spirit and the strength you need to make it a success. But all this, talking about living to your life, brings us to something called the geezer's paradox, with a good friend of mine just shared with me recently. And it's kind of pretty, it ties in nicely with what we were talking about because it's called, there it is, the geezer's paradox. It nicely kind of dovetails what we talk about because namely, your job isn't to please the rest of the world. And if they like what you do, great. And if they don't like what you do, just as great. Your job is to live your life to the best way that you can. So see if we can get our little screen share to work. That's the geezer's paradox. And let me hide that for a second because it's covering up the bottom. And if you're having trouble reading it, I'll read it out loud to you and also people who listen to audio only. It says, you don't become cooler with age, but you do care progressively less about being cool, which is the only true way of being cool. This is called the geezer's paradox. As always, Live your life to fulfill your most wonderful dreams and visions. So we'll get rid of him for now. That's it. And like I said, it's really simple tonight, but I just really wanted to give you an example of somebody who I work with and or knew and know personally. And people do amazing things every day. You can be one of them. So that's it for the evening. Be proud of yourself and your own worldview and focus on that which is consistent with your own values. Your homework, always optional, is to think about what big vision that you have and you've kind of been afraid to really envision, and try making that kind of a priority and think about it a little bit. We've talked about envisionment. You can go through past episodes, and I'm going to be writing more stuff on it. And just start working towards that and saying, what would life be like if I really did live that vision? Extra points if you use our envisionment techniques to see if you can take that first small step towards making it a reality. As always, ukr7.com is certainly still up. United 24 is another organization active in Ukraine. World Central Kitchen is active in many places, and I don't know whether my friend was working with them or somebody else. But remember the war in Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, all over. There's many places in the world that have strife right now, disasters of all sorts. And keep those people in mind. If you can do anything to help them, that'd be great. If you want to help somebody locally, that'd be great too. And if you just do something even as simple as meeting somebody in the street and saying hello, just making their day a little nicer, just that can really turn the world around one little tiny bit at a time. Remember, one of the best ways to care for yourself is to care for others. So if you can and you're able, please check out ukr7.com, worldcentralkitchen.org, wck.org, any of your local charities, or just the next person you meet in the street. As always, thank you for stopping by. If you found something interesting or useful, please pass it along and please hit that like button. If not, please drop me a comment as to what you'd like to hear. Have a great week. Remember to live the life that you dreamed of, because that's the path to true contentment. Love and encouragement to everyone. See you next week on 7 Every Minute and 7everyminute.com. Thank you.